travel expert Simon Calder is full of the secrets to save you money on your travels.
Sumimasen!
With tips on everything from how to avoid the crowds to the best way to dodge those tourist traps.
I'm here all week.
This time, the Russian city of St. Petersburg.
I've been lucky enough to travel the length and breadth of Russia, from Kaliningrad to Vladivostok and from Novosibirsk to Volgograd, and I can confirm that the most beautiful, romantic and engaging city in the country is the former capital, St. Petersburg.
The city was founded by Tsar Peter the Great in the early 18th century. He recruited some of the world's best architects to transform a swamp at the bitter end of the Baltic into Russia's window to the west. Getting there is easy enough. Several budget airlines fly direct from London. But while booking the flights might be simple, there's still some red tape to deal with.
To get a standard visa, you need to pay a small fortune and attend an office in London, Manchester or Edinburgh to be photographed and fingerprinted. But you can avoid all that hassle if you travel by water.
And one way of doing that is taking a Baltic cruise, which typically involves a 2-day stay in St. Petersburg. You can book this trip for around £200 per person.
To be allowed off the ship without a Russian visa, you must be on an organised tour. But despite what the cruise line might have you believe, you're not compelled to join one of the ship's excursions. Instead, local tour operators can be much cheaper and more personalised.
Better still, simply take a ferry from Helsinki. A 13-hour overnight trip from the Finnish capital allows you far more freedom once you arrive in St. Petersburg. You can stay in hotels in the city centre and wander around freely.
But once again, you can sidestep the red tape. Here's how. At the same time as you book the ferry and a hotel in St. Petersburg, pay €25 for an organised excursion group. And what's that? Just a shuttle bus from the cruise port to the city centre.
Once you've checked into your hotel, you can explore the city's grand buildings and almost 200 miles of canals. And don't forget St. Petersburg's Winter Palace, home to part of the Hermitage Museum, which holds one of the world's most extraordinary art collections. The Star Tsar Peter the Great is now entombed in the magnificent Peter and Paul Cathedral, alongside nearly all the Russian rulers who followed him. And you might even have the chance to practice your language skills.
On the flight or voyage, spend a couple of hours picking up the Cyrillic alphabet. Many of the letters are the same as in English, and for others there's very straightforward substitutions. So an H is actually pronounced like an N, a P like an R, and a C like an S. And that back to front R is actually pronounced Ya, and it means I. So hopefully if you see this sign, and you'll be able to translate it as restaurant and find something to eat.